Thank you for joining me again. I'm Justin Anderson, Anderson Griggs Investments. We're going to continue our discussion on the basics of retirement, and today we're going to focus on income. Your primary source of income all throughout your life has been your job. So when you retire, you don't have a job, you don't have that work income coming in. However, there are a lot of common sources of income that we all can share or have the possibility to share. And some of those sources of income actually require certain decisions to be made that a lot of people have to make. So we're just going to talk about those basics here. The first source of income in retirement is going to be Social Security. When you did start working, you started paying that Social Security tax from the very first paycheck. You've done it your whole life, and the government's been telling you, hey, this money's going to be there for you when you retire, and it's going to be a good source of your income. Just a little random piece of data. Right now, the monthly income in 2017, the average monthly income is $1,350 a month, so $1,350 a month. I want everyone to understand if you think that's going to be your only required source of income, I'm gonna push you away from that thought. It's probably not going to be enough in most cases. All right, so Social Security, you're able to claim at age 62. It's the earliest you're able to claim, unless there are certain random scenarios that come up, and they're not unfortunate scenarios. So 62 is the first time you're able to claim, and everyone kind of understands this. If you claim early before your full retirement age, you're going to get less a month than you would have if you waited till full retirement age or even waited beyond. So everyone understands early means less. If I wait longer, I get more. And there is a certain scale, it's a close scale that you can go by. If you start claiming at the earliest you're able to at 62, you're going to get 70% of what that full retirement amount was. And then it changes by a month-to-month basis. But the next year is basically 25% less, then the year after that is 20, then 14, then 7. Then you get your full retirement amount. If you wait past full retirement amount, you get an 8% increase for each year. And because most people now retiring today, their full retirement age is going to be 67 going forward, you get 3 years of that. So it would be 124% of what that full retirement amount would be. Now, whether or not you can claim early, the biggest determinant of this is going to be healthcare. It's going to be the state of health that you and your spouse are in. Again, this is another family decision. If both spouses are retiring at the same time, Social Security, you're both going to get Social Security. If one of you have more than the other one, it might be a big difference in the monthly amount that's there. The person who has the most might actually want to wait and try to increase that amount, because when that person passes away, the surviving spouse gets to take on the highest Social Security payment. So that's going to be an idea that goes throughout a lot of these things that we're talking about in retirement. Is going to be the health of you and your spouse. If you're both healthy and you have savings, you might even want to put off claiming Social Security to try to increase that monthly amount to get it to where it's a bigger portion of your income and able to pay more bills going forward. For each year you put off claiming Social Security, even past that 62, if you claim, you have income for that year. If you put it off, you don't have income for that year. So for each year that you do this, basically when you start claiming, to catch up the amounts that you weren't able to claim early, it's normally a turnaround of about 12 years. So after 12 years, you start making more than you would have by claiming early, because of the increased monthly amount. All right, so Social Security is the first source of normal income that people see. Second source, this is dying out. A lot of companies are getting rid of these, but pension plans, they're wonderful if they're available to you. If you can still find a job that is willing to do a pension plan, that's a big bonus towards employment. Do it if you can. A lot of companies, they're not paying pensions anymore, but they put together certain things like cash savings plans. But ultimately what it means is when you retire, there's going to be a pool of money that's available to you, and then you're forced to make a decision. You can either take a lump sum payment of that money, and that means you get one check, and from that moment on, it's up to you to manage those funds and have them serve you throughout your future. But there's a lot of other options that come into this. You can choose to annuitize that lump sum instead. And what that means is the company's going to pay you a certain monthly amount until you die. And they may offer this in 3 or 4 different ways. It might be that you get 100% of a larger number monthly until you die, and after that, the amount stops, so you don't get any more after that. But you can choose to have a survivor benefit. So if something happens to you, perhaps your spouse gets a certain amount of that. It might be 100% of that amount, or it might be a reduced amount. Whatever the choice is, it's going to change the monthly amount that's going forward. The biggest determinant here on what you should do, again, comes into longevity, the health of you and your spouse, your genetics, things of that nature. So that's going to be the biggest determinant in whether or not you take the lump sum or you take the monthly payments, and how much goes to the spouse when you pass. All right, third source of common income that people have, and this is savings. And even though I say common, it's actually probably a lot more uncommon than what you would think. The majority of people out there have zero savings at retirement. a small portion above that only have $25,000. That's what they have that's saved up to take care of them throughout their entire retirement, which can last 20 or 30 years. So you really need to start saving early and keep to that and increase the savings every chance you're able to do. But anyway, savings becomes your nest egg. That's what you want to pull from to if you need it to pay bills or if you need it just to handle emergencies. But you've been saving for that purpose, and it's to be converted to income in retirement. Now the fourth one, and the one that people probably don't want to talk about all that much, is the fourth source of income available to you in retirement is another job. If you're one of those people we talked about earlier that hates working, that's not going to be an option for you. So you just need to plan ahead. But for anyone else, if you find something that you like to do, if it's low stress, I wouldn't pick a job that's stressful. That's what you're retiring for, to get away from that. But if you like hanging out with people, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a greeter at Walmart. If you enjoy doing that, do it. That extra income is actually going to go a long way towards helping take care of your expenses. But other than that, we'll see you next time when we talk about expenses. Thank you.